Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. For today I'm going to be doing my Paper Pumpkin remake card, redo, whatever I call this. I don't even remember anymore. So this is the one for this month, I guess for the month of July. This won't actually go up until August, but this is the one for the month of July, and I really like it. It's definitely not a card for everyone with the jewels in the background, but I personally love this, and I have a couple friends that I'm excited to give this to them for their birthdays. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Ugh, I don't know why I can't talk today. So for this one, you really can make this card using all of the supplies that you received with Paper Pumpkin, in addition to the duet balloon bunch punch. I think that's what this is called. This punch. I'll put all of the products will be in my coordinating blog post down below. As well as the archival basic black, Emerald Envy, which you got in your Paper Pumpkin kit, and the papers that we're using for today is Whisper White and Flirty Flamingo. So Flirty Flamingo, you're going to need a piece that's 8.5 by 5.5. For your Whisper White, this piece is cut at 5.25 by 4. And then this second piece of Flirty Flamingo is cut at 4.75 by 3.5. So we're also going to use a couple pieces from the Paper Pumpkin kit. So we're going to be using one of each style of box to cut out our balloons. We're going to be using a little tag and one of the small pieces of yarn, twine, whatever they call it in the kit. Now, for the card that I'm going to show you guys to make today, I'm going to be using the Balloon Celebration stamp set that coordinates with this punch, and I don't remember, I can't remember if it's bundled anymore or not. Let me see if I can find out really fast. And if I can't find it super quick, then I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, phew, good thing I didn't say that. These two are no longer bundled together, but you have the punch and the coordinating stamp set. So you can get both of these products, you just don't get it in a bundle. You have to purchase them separately. Anyways, we are definitely going to use the punch. So if you don't have this stamp set and you don't want to purchase it, I love this one. I use this on so often. It's an awesome stamp set, but I understand if you don't want to purchase this one, you can definitely use just the stamp set that came with Paper Pumpkin and just use one of the sentiments there. One of the sentiments that you have here, and then for the lines for the balloons, you can just take a regular pen, or I would probably use something like the Copic multi-liner, just because it's got the same kind of look for the strings for the balloons. So again, if you don't have the Balloon Celebration stamp set, you can definitely do this project without this one. But if you have it, it does make it a little bit easier, and you have more options for sentiment combinations. So you'll need possibly this stamp set and then the stamp set that you received with Paper Pumpkin. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is create that gemmed background that is on this card. So what I actually did was there are 6 gems that came with the Paper Pumpkin stamp set. There are these 6 gems, and I just took them and I arranged them on a C-sized block. So they're all right here. That way I can just very easily stamp this whole background super quick, that I'm not having to stamp each one individually. So I'm going to take my Emerald Envy ink, and I'm just going to start going and stamping, and I'm going to twist and turn this as I go. And just kind of create a pattern. Now you have to remember that you're not going to really see anything on the inside, so it's not very important to get much on the inside. You really just want to focus on the outside edge and make sure that you're stamping stuff on the outside edge. That's really what you're going to see with this card. We're going to put that piece of Flirty Flamingo over, so you're not going to see anything in the center really. So what I like to do, because it gets a little messy with this background paper, I do have this just so that I can catch anything. I like to take it away, and I see that like there's a couple edges that I'd like to have stamped a little bit more, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do that and just stamp off really with the other gems that I'm not going to be using. And I think that's good. So I'm going to clean this stamp off really fast. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side, and we don't actually need our background paper anymore. But let's go ahead and finish up our stamping. And we are going to still need Emerald Envy, but I'm just going to close it so that I don't stick my arm in it. I am going to grab my paper trimmer. Maybe. There you go. And let me scooch this up. So I'm going to take my little tag, and now I'm using the larger of the tags that came in Paper Pumpkin, and I'm using the one that has green on it. There's also one that has pink on it, and I did a test one with the one that has pink on it, and I think it looks really cute. But because we're putting this on a pink piece of cardstock, I wanted that green to kind of pop out. So that's why I did the green one. But of course, you make your card however you want. You change it up, you do whatever you like to do. The first thing that I'm going to do is take my little tag here, and I'm going to cut it right about where the score line is to fold the tag. Because we don't need to fold it, we just need this one piece. So now we just have one piece. Then I'm going to take the tag and chop off right next to where that hole is, so that there's no longer a hole and it's just this little tag piece. So now we have that. Let me put my trimmer away. Okay, so now we have our little tag. And I'm going to take this sentiment, and this is actually 2 different stamps from the Balloon Celebration set. So it says, "Come, let us sit together and drink," and then I added the second stamp that says champagne. And I just think that it's a really nice stamp, or a really nice sentiment to go along with this, because we have those gems in the background, so it's really kind of like an extravagant, luscious kind of, let's see all these gems and eat and drink champagne. Like, I really, really think that these two go together really well. So I'm going to ink this up in Emerald Envy and just line it up. It's a little hard to see from where I'm sitting because I'm trying not to lean over so you don't see my head. But it's really easy. You have just enough room to get that whole thing in there. The champagne, the beginning of the champagne does kind of go into the bronze foil here, but I don't think it's enough to where it really bothers me a ton. You can still see what it says. So there's that. Now, for this card, I want to go ahead and kind of assemble it, and then we will do the last little touch. So, and by assemble, I will show you what I mean. So first, I'm going to take our smaller piece of Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to take our little tag, and I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to adhere this right now. And the reason that I'm doing this is so that I have an idea of where my balloons need to go. But before I do my balloons, I'm going to assemble everything so that it's easier to put the card together. I am going to take my scratch piece of paper one more time, and I'm going to pull over my little balloon tails and my basic black ink. Now again, if you don't have this set, you could just use a pen. Like I said earlier, I would use something like a Copic multi-liner. Oh, this one's dying. So maybe not this one, but I have... See, something like that, where it gives you kind of the same effect rather than just a pen. But if you have a pen, use a pen. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to go ahead and use the stamp for this. So I'm going to ink this up in basic black. And if you don't have the Stampin' Up! Basic Black, use whatever black ink you have. It's, again, it's totally up to you how you want to make this card. You make it however is easiest for you. And I'm just going to stamp this down right about there. Now I'm stamping off because I know that my tail is going to go off the piece of paper. So, and that's the only thing we're using the basic black for. So again, if you decide that you want to use just a pen, you don't even need the basic black ink. Just clean that stamp off. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and, like I said a couple minutes ago, pretty much assemble this card. So I'm going to take my piece that, my piece of Whisper White that we just stamped all those jewels on, and I'm going to adhere this piece down. And this second layer here, this flirty flamingo, wow, I don't even know what I was just trying to say. This flirty flamingo is a little bit small, or it's a little bit smaller than my normal second layer on a card, and that's because I really wanted to see all those gems on the outside. So that's why we did it that way. Now we're going to take our larger piece of flirty flamingo and go ahead and fold this in half to give us our card base. Grab my bone folder. I'm going to open this up, and the reason that I'm doing all of this right now is because it's going to give us, or the card's going to be easier to assemble this way instead of putting our balloons on and then trying to put all these layers on top. You're going to have dimension, and it just gets a little bit hard to assemble everything that way. Okay, so there we go. Look, our card's done. Just kidding, but it is almost done. This one's super quick and easy. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to bring in my box pieces from Paper Pumpkin, and we're also, this is when we're going to be using the punch. So I'm going to use this, I don't know, the closest thing that I know to call this is like raindrop looking. Okay, and of course my camera just died right in the middle of me filming, so anyways, we should be good now. And we're almost done with this card anyways. Like I was saying, there's two different patterns. You have the dots and like this rain stripe, kind of not stripe looking pattern. Anyways, with this one, we're going to punch out the large balloon. And the reason being is that the openings on this one, on this patterned one, the openings are larger than the one that's polka dotted. So I actually had some cut out somewhere, maybe not. I did punch out a balloon using this, and you can see where the crease is. You can see that in the on the balloon, and it's not a very good look. I didn't personally like it, but you do what you want to do. So we only need one out of this. And then with the polka dot one, we're going to use the small balloon punch. And we're going to punch out 2 of the small balloons. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to bring our card back over and grab our Stampin' Dimensionals, which were hiding from me. And I'm going to start off with the big balloon because I just find that it's a little bit easier to start there. And we'll layer the smaller ones on top. So I'm going to place my big balloon right about there. Place it wherever you want to. It doesn't really matter, to be 100% honest. And then what I like to do is place my smaller balloon on top. So I'm going to do one on the right and one on the left. And I'm just kind of trying to place it there so I know where to place the dimensional. And I want the dimensional over to the side so that it's not where this big balloon is. And I'm just going to kind of line it up with that line right there and stick it down. And then I'm going to do the same with this one over here. Except this one, maybe I'll do it kind of like that. And I'm going to put it on this side because, again, I want to make sure that this dimensional is on the cardstock and not on my balloon. Okay, and there is that. So you could leave the card like this. I'm going to go ahead and add this little bow on here, but you're completely done if you want to leave it like this and if you don't want to add the bow. It's 100% up to you, whatever look you like the best. So I'm just going to take my smaller piece of, I think they call it twine. It feels more like yarn to me, to be honest. So that's what I've kind of been calling it. But I think in the instructions and everything with the actual projects, they call it twine. And I'm making this bow pretty tiny because I don't want it to be too overpowering to the card. It's just supposed to be a nice little complement to the card. Okay, and then I need to find my scissors, which were here somewhere. Up here, there they are. And cut off the little tails. Just like that. And then I'm just going to take some Tombow Mono multi-glue. Any liquid glue, if you want to use glue dots, that would work perfect as well. I just like this glue because it dries pretty quickly. And because you're dealing with a fabric little embellishment, you have a little bit more time to kind of work with it if you need to. So I'm just going to put some pressure on here for a couple seconds while that dries really fast. Okay, there we go. And there's our card. Super quick and easy and simple. And honestly, these, you could probably crank these out pretty quick after you get the hang of it. Ooh, I'm throwing this around. So you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 cards out of one of the polka dot ones. And where did 1, 2, 3, 4 out of this. So you could probably do 4 cards per little box. So you could get quite a few of these cards out of this set. Now you would have to use the different tags. You would have to use the smaller ones and that kind of stuff, but you could totally make that work. And once you run out of the tags, you can just simply cut a little tag out of some Whisper White and do some fun stuff to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this card. I think it's super cute. And as usual, everything will be linked down below in the description box with my coordinating blog post. If you have any questions, always leave me a comment, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!